Steve and I met this obnoxious guy at a friend's house the other day. And boy, he went on and on and on.
And that's just like nothing. The problem with teachers is, what's the kid going to learn from someone who decided that his best option in life was to become a teacher? Isn't it true what they say about teachers? Those who can, do, and those who can't, teach.
So I decided to bite my tongue instead of his and resist the temptation to remind the other guests that it's also true what they say about lawyers.
I mean, you're teachers, guys. Be honest. What do you make?
Now I wish he hadn't asked me to be honest. Because, you see, I have a policy about honesty. If you ask for it, I have to let you have it.
You can't handle the truth!
You want to know what I make? I make kids work harder than they ever thought they could. I can make a C feel like a Congressional Medal of Honor, and an A minus feel like a slap in the face. How dare you waste my time with anything less than your very best? No, you may not work in groups. No, you may not ask a question. Why won't I let you get a drink of water? Because you're not thirsty. You're bored. That's why. I can make parents tremble in fear when I call home. I hope I haven't called at a bad time. I just wanted to talk to you about something Billy said today. Billy said that leave the kids alone. I still cry sometimes, don't you? And it was the noblest act of courage I have ever seen. I make parents see their children for who they are and what they can be.
I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom.
You want to know what I make? I make kids wonder. I make them question. I make them criticize. I make them apologize and mean it. I make them write, and then I make them read. I make them spell definitely beautiful, definitely beautiful, definitely beautiful over and over and over again until they'll never misspell either one of those words. I make them show all their work in math and hide it in their final drafts in English. I make them understand that if they use this and they follow this, and if somebody tries to judge you by what you make, you give them this. Let me break it down for you so you know what I say is true. I make a difference. What about you?
I graduated last year, and then during the summer, we moved to Davis. I liked all of my teachers, but my favorites were Mrs. Dawson and Mr. Flack, because they taught me really well and were nice, funny, and understanding. And thank you to Miss Nancy and Miss Betty in the office for keeping Hoover organized and being really helpful. My favorite event in Hoover was Colonial Day in the 5th grade. It was a great way of turning normally boring social studies into a fun activity. I learned how to work as a group, I learned about life in the colonies, I learned how to make mob caps and other crafts, but most of all, I had fun through the whole experience. Teachers have had a big influence on my life. They have encouraged me to try my hardest, and they have taught me many useful things. Not only have they been my teachers, but they have been my friends. Thank you so much. I feel like all my teachers deserve an A+. My sisters, Eugenia Ray Chowdhury and Blossom Ray Chowdhury, would like to say thank you too, because they also attended Hoover School. Thank you. Thanks.
Hello, Miss White. Hello, Mrs. White. Hello, Mrs. Xena. I love you, Miss White. I like Mrs. Quistad because she teaches me a lot of stuff. I like Miss White. I like Miss White because she is nice. I love Teacher Julie because I just love her. Miss White is pretty. Miss White is pretty. I like Miss White because when I do a good job, she is nice to me. I like Mr. McGovern because he's nice. and because he helps us do our work sometimes if it's hard. I like Mrs. Dawson, but now she's gone. Mr. Spencer is the best, even though we get hard tests. In 3rd grade, we are never at rest. It's okay because we get cool guests. Mr. Lee is my favorite teacher so far, and he is very funny. My favorite teacher is Miss Wilson.
I remember Miss Regis. I remember doing the Alone project, and it was really fun.
Miss Greenfield, my 3rd grade teacher.
Well, I really liked Miss Davis. She was really funny, and Mr. Flap was also very groovy.
I like Miss Davis. She gives out candy. She makes up voices for different characters. She throws markers in the trash can. She throws them across the room.
I like Miss Davis because she's nice. She acts nice. When she messes up on something, she'll laugh at herself. And my teacher is Miss Davis. She's kind of funny, and I like her a lot because she's really kind.
My favorite teacher at Hoover was Miss Shellen because she was dynamic and energetic. Miss Shellen made classes fun, but also made sure we grasped the matters we were studying. Another teacher that I enjoyed was Miss Schwarting, who made my 5th grade year a memorable experience. The teachers I had at Hoover have made a difference in my life because they have educated me and prepared me for the stages that I'm currently experiencing.
Okay, my 2 favorite teachers were Miss Barnia and Mr. Flack because I could talk a lot in Miss Barnia's class and I like talking, and Mr. Flack because he was like the only guy teacher I've had so far in 5th grade. Yeah, that's a good reason. Yeah, so I can relate to him more.
Yeah. My favorite class is Mr. Flack because he gives easy assignments and free time.
My favorite teacher is also Mr. Flack, but he also teaches really well, but he's kind of nice.
My teacher is Mr. Flack. He always made us laugh, and he was very fun. And Miss Barnia made me a better writer, and I had just a great time at Hoover with all those teachers.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Flack because he's like funny and he makes a lot of jokes.
I miss Mr. Flack because he was really funny.
Dr. Scott is a very good principal and he's always ready for action.
Dr. Scott was really nice because she really cared about the children. She knows all the students' names, and she makes sure that we're all safe.
Once when I did something good, I earned a really big marble about this size. He lets us have a cursive party, like when we finish all our cursive. Oh yeah, and the St. Patrick's Day raffle, because I won the banana. My 6th Santa has a tortoise. The tortoise's name is Rudy. My favorite teacher is Miss Wingfield because she would sing this song to let the VIP in, and then the people sitting down would sing along with her, and it's fun to do that. My favorite moments at Hoover were when we were running during PE, and I also miss my friends because only really few people from Hoover go to Germany. I miss a lot of my friends.
The thing about Hoover was at recess I hanged out with my pals and played basketball.
I also like the Tech Museum and the Valkyrie. I like the Tech Museum in 5th grade in Miss Schwarting's class.
And what I appreciate about Hoover is that there are a lot of activities. I like Miss Barnia because she's strict but makes things interesting.
I joked with Miss Barnia. I said a lot of funny stuff and she thought it was funny and then she laughed.
Probably some of my fondest moments were when I played cribbage in Mr. Flack's class, and now it turns out I'm a world champion because I just came from the professional tournament. So that's why we're all in. They were watching me, so that's why.
My fondest moments
were probably recess ones. I really had fun doing them. And see, I was a professional athlete. I just came back from the Olympics. I had to wear a suit there.
All the great teachers. That's what I remembered.
I remember the field trips and the projects I did.
I remembered Funky Friday in Mr. Flapp's group, where Mr. Flapp plays some of his crazy selection of music, and we were supposed to get up and randomly dance in front of the class. We were all really bad dancers, and that's what made it hilarious.
Is me and Miss Barnia. This is on Colonial Day with Mr. Flapp. We all dressed up as colonial people in 5th grade.
Colonial Day.
Yeah, that was fun.
We got to eat jelly beans.
I got to dress up as people from like the past.
Yeah, the colonial times, and then like act out stuff.
Well, I miss being with all my friends because they all now go to different schools, and I miss having one teacher.
My favorite moment at Hoover was graduating.
Well, 5th grade graduation was the most memorable experience because it was the last day.
We started our journey and we passed the first leg. We wish we could come back, we hope and we beg. Ms. Bimson taught us how to be fair. We learned, we had fun, and she really cared.
Miss Shorty was such a great teacher. She had so many awesome features.
Mr. Flapp was one awesome dude, from cribbage to Colonial Day to 50 state food.
Dr. Scott, you have such a big heart, out night and day making sure we're okay.
Now this is the end of our poem. Thank you for making Hoover like a second home.